Alright guys, it is Kieran from RedDevilWeekly to give my quick pre-match thoughts ahead of Manchester United's trip to Aston Villa. 4:30 Sunday is when the game will be kicking off, and it's going to be a very tough assignment for Eric Ten Hag and the rest of the team. It's going to be a very difficult game to negotiate, but one that if we do get 3 points will be valuable if we have any hope of getting into the top four at the end of the season. Before we get into it, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Really enjoy interacting with you guys down there. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, if you do fancy helping me out. So, let's talk about Aston Villa to start with. They've had a very good season this season under the stewardship of Unai Emery, fourth in the league. Their league form been very good, 14 wins, 4 draws and only 5 losses this season. However, their recent form hasn't been as good. In all competitions, they're only 1 win in their last 5, with that win being a 5-0 drubbing away to Sheffield United, to be fair. But still, having only won 1 in their last 5, considering their overall season, you'd have to say it's a bit of a dip in form and a bit of a blip in their season. But their record at home still remains very, very good. They've only lost twice at home all season in the league. One of those came against Newcastle in a 3-1 defeat. So we can take some encouragement from that. However, I don't think Aston Villa should be too worried about their home form, even though they've lost back-to-back home games in all competitions, obviously losing to Chelsea and being knocked out of the FA Cup with a 3-1 defeat in midweek. But they're still a force to be reckoned with, and they will be bolstered by the fact they've got 2 returning players, Pau Torres coming back into the fold, and Luca Dean as well. So defensively, they're going to be a lot stronger. At least their squad is going to be a lot stronger. So that's going to make it a bit more difficult for us. Also, the omens aren't exactly in our favour. Unai Emery's 100th Premier League game in charge, which usually spells a good result for the side that he's managing. Hopefully that's not the case, because sometimes, it's a bit superstitious. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But I always feel like there's these little patterns that you can see before the game, these little stats which just stick out to you and just scare the life out of me, to be honest with you. But having said that, Villa are well worth their place in the league. They've got some brilliant players in their side who are having great seasons. Ollie Watkins is one of those. He's on a really good goal-scoring run, and probably their most threatening player, if we're honest. Diaby as well, who's come in, has looked brilliant for them, and he's going to cause us a lot of problems. And they look a very decent side going forward, but also very compact at the back. In recent games, obviously not as compact. However, they obviously, overall, if you take that overall season, they've been fairly strong. I think in terms of their home record especially, they've been very strong. As I mentioned, only losing 2 times at home all season. And I think that's the second best home record in the league besides Liverpool. And I hate to say it, but obviously Anfield is a massive fortress. Douglas Luiz as well in that midfield, is massive for them. He's someone who's been a consistent performer since he's come into Aston Villa, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to put on another statement performance against us. So yeah, listen, they've got players all over the pitch, even coming off the bench. Leon Bailey was someone that we struggled against last time we played Villa at Villa Park in the league, a 3-1 defeat last season where we were convincingly second best, it's got to be said. So yeah, we haven't had the best of times recently at Villa Park, but our record against Villa has been very good. I think since 2009 we've only lost twice. And if you think about how many times we played them in the leagues, in the cups, to have only lost 2 games in that period says a lot, and says that we do have a good record against them. But it's about who turns up on the day, and Villa are getting some of their good players back. It's Emery's 100th Premier League game. There's going to be somewhat of a feel-good factor at Villa Park, but there's also going to be a feel that there needs to be a reaction, and the players will know that. They know there has been a bit of a downturn in form, so they know they're going to have to respond, and I'm sure they will, and I'm sure they'll make it very difficult for us. And our record away from home against top half sides since Eric Ten Hag's taken over is nothing short of a travesty, to be honest. So I don't know where you would go if you were a betting man. Let me know the odds that you can see in the comment section down below in terms of who is winning this game, what the bookmakers are making of it, because I think it'd be pretty well 50-50. So let me know your thoughts on Aston Villa in the comment section down below. But in summary, they've been having a very good season. They're going to make it very difficult for us. They've got a lot of weapons in their team, and we have to be playing at 100%. Make no mistake about it. But their recent form suggests there are definitely frailties in that side. Let's go into Manchester United then, and let's talk about my predicted 11 going into this game. And I've gone with pretty well the same 11 that started our last game. Onana in goal, Dalot, Varane. I've gone with Maguire. The one change that unfortunately we are forced to make from our 3-0 win over West Ham. Martinez will be out for 8 weeks. He suffered an injury, I think in the second half of that game. It was kind of an accidental collision between him and Kufal on the byline, and his knee ended up getting damaged. So he'll be out for 8 weeks, which, to be honest with you, is a lot shorter than a lot of people thought, especially when the phrase ACL was being uttered and pushed around social media. I think a lot of people felt the worst, particularly after his injury last season. But it's only 8 weeks, so I think actually a lot of United fans, whilst it's frustrating, breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief on that one. So I think Maguire will slot in there. Of course, you could go Evans. I think Evans wouldn't be a bad choice. He's been a good servant for us this season. So yeah, Maguire and Varane, I think. Luke Shaw, a left back. I've gone with Mainu, Casemiro, Fernandes, and then I've gone with Rashford, Garnacho, and Højlund. So pretty well the same team that started against West Ham. I think we've obviously picked up 2 wins in a row in the league, including our FA Cup. I think it's about 4 games unbeaten in a row in all competitions. So a little bit of momentum. And when we need to keep hold of that momentum, and the best thing you can do to achieve that is to try and keep a consistent lineup, especially in the back line. Obviously, Martinez is injured, so we can't do much about that. But as long as we keep the spine of our team somewhat consistent, we've got the best chance of achieving consistent results. But let me know your predicted lineups in the comment section down below as well. I'm going to get into my score prediction, and of course leave yours in the comments and anywhere else. Of course, tweet me your score predictions at RedDevilWeekly on X or Twitter, whatever you like to call it. No one calls it X, let's face it. I've gone with a score prediction of 2-0 to Manchester United. Now, I know what you're thinking. It goes against the stats that you might see about Aston Villa's home record, the fact that Aston Villa this season have scored in every single home league game, which I don't think any team in the league has kept up with them on that regard. Obviously, the omens aren't good. It's Emery's 100th game in the Premier League. They're getting players back. The idea that we're going to keep a clean sheet is just an absolute mental one. But you know what? I didn't think we were going to keep a clean sheet against West Ham. So, I'm backing it. I'm backing Onana. I'm backing the boys to keep a clean sheet and keep this momentum running. And I'm going to go with 2-0. I'm going to say Rashford and I'm going to say Højlund get on the score sheet. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of intelligence or analysis that has gone into that prediction. It's raw emotion, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Make sure you leave all your thoughts, questions, and anything in between in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.